Hello, everyone. Welcome to A Turn of Events, where we help put a positive spin on the future of your business. I'm Annette Naif, the CEO and creative director of Naif Productions. We're a strategic production company, event production company, and we specialize in corporate, social, nonprofit, and weddings. I'm also a wedding and event planning coach. If you are looking for a community of wedding and event planners, please join us over at the Event Planners Society Facebook group. Really, really fun group of people. Lots of great fun information that I give out, bunch of tips and education and all that about the industry. So I can't stress enough how important it is to have an email list, right? Very, very important to have an email list. How do we grow our email list? And so we're going to talk about lead magnets and how to grow your email list with them. We have many. I'll talk to you about that. But my next guest is Natalie Gray. I'm very excited to talk to her. She helps entrepreneurs live a great story. She's an online business founder, digital CEO mentor, marketer, and podcaster, building an online business to $1 million aligned with her core values in business and in life. She helps business owners, budding entrepreneurs, creators, experts, and coaches build profitable online businesses, simplify and deliver a transformation faster. She's also growing a community of entrepreneurs to expand their impact in the world. Natalie is a former corporate marketer and former builder of an early stage social impact startup. Natalie, thank you so much for being here. How are you, my dear?
Hi, Annette. Doing well. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
Yes. So first of all, why don't you tell everybody a little bit more about who you are? And I did that little spiel, but how you got into this and lead magnets. We're going to talk a lot about that, but why don't you tell everybody a little bit about you?
Sure. Yes. So last year, I started building my online business after pivoting from building a startup for several years. I did some executive coaching and realized I was building the wrong business. And I had to determine what my core values were and then, build a business that aligned with my values in my personal life and in business. And so, with an online business, it was important to monetize, personal knowledge, skills, experience. And I'm selling products, digital products, services. I'll be launching a mini membership in 2024 and a course. So, and I'm very passionate about helping others do the same. To either whether it's a side hustle and they want to, if they're having trouble and they want to help scale it or grow it, or if they're just, an established entrepreneur and they need help with, marketing and traction. I also help coach digital CEOs.
Oh, wonderful. So I'm basically one of those. I have my side gig here, aside from doing wedding and events, is I have an online course and for wedding and event planners who are looking to start their own business or they're struggling in their current business. And it's pretty much everything from A to Z. So I'm totally your ideal client. I'm creating a group digital course online. So it's a lot of work. It's really great, but I also too love to do that. So I can relate to how you feel about that. So let's talk about the key elements of a successful lead magnet for wedding and event planners. It can really be for business owners, but we do speak to a lot of wedding and event planners, but this can really probably relate to anybody that's, trying to grow their email list.
Sure. I mean, the first step would be to think about the end result. And so what is that? What is the end result that you want? Is it to attract people to your core offer, to book your paid services? Is it to get on a discovery call? So start there. And then you want the lead magnet to connect to that end result.
Right.
And you do that by providing value that provides knowledge for your ideal customer to understand you, whatever they need to know, understand, and believe to take the next step to working with you, to booking your paid service. You might want to address objections in it with some bullets, objections that come up for them. Also bridging the transformation. So, start with meeting them where they're at now and what problem they may be experiencing now. And then what is the outcome, the desired outcome that they want? And, there's the gap between that. And so you want to sort of bridge that, gap and help them, guide them to making a decision, for that ultimate transformation.
Right.
And then, a successful lead magnet will guide them in making the decision and guide them to the next steps to take. It'll have a call to action. The content will have a title, a tagline, copy that connects, and the call to action. And
Right.
so you might want to, you definitely need to have a content, tool like Canva, and then an email service provider where you have a landing page where they can sign up for your lead magnet, and then, probably a thank you page, and then, a way to deliver it.
Yeah. So for those who are just starting and have no idea what a lead magnet is, why don't we tell them what a lead magnet can be? Because there's lots of different ways that you can do it. And I can talk about the ways that I'm doing mine, but why don't we tell them what is a lead magnet?
Yeah, a lead magnet is, something like an ebook, a guide, a checklist, a worksheet, a template, and it starts with a topic that resonates with your audience. And so you definitely want it to resonate. And the best way to do that is to know your audience. And so then what I talked about earlier with helping them with guiding the decision and providing valuable information or knowledge that sort of guides them in their journey to the next step, which ultimately would be working with you or booking your service.
Right. So I built, so I have a lead magnet, which is an ebook. I've been calling it for 100 years, like 10 years. I would say probably 12 years now. I've had this one lead magnet, which I've, built an email list over 10,000 from this one lead magnet. And it's called The 7 Biggest Mistakes Wedding and Event Planners Make When Planning an Event and Tips to Avoid Them. And it's 7 different things. It's like the top things. And I literally never changed. I wrote it 12 years ago. And I go back to it every now and then, over the couple years will go by and I say, okay, let me look at that and see if I need to change anything up. Has anything changed? Nothing's changed. It's always the same. I only change what it looks like, right? I might change the cover of it or, make it look prettier. When Canva came out, and if you don't know what Canva is, it's a fantastic tool that can create these lead magnets. You literally just go into Canva, canva.com, and put in lead magnet or ebook, and it will literally give you a template, and you can just create it that way. And if you don't know how to write one, go to ChatGPT, and that will write one for you. It's fantastic. There's the days are changing because I used to spend hours making mine, and now I can do one in 15 minutes. So guys, there's no reason why you shouldn't be doing this because it's really super easy and it's a great way to build your list. So we are now creating more. I use that one. It seemed to work, but I need to grow my list more. I need to get more people into my program and seeing what I'm doing and helping more people so I can teach them, same as you do. And all the people that are out there that are, looking to grow their business and their email list. You want to get people on your email list because you want to get them. Social media may go away one day and you won't be able to have them. So you won't be able to get to them. So you want to make sure that you grow this list so you own the email list and you can reach out to these people. So anyway, it's crazy how that one lead magnet has done a lot for me. And now I'm building more. And I'm also creating a quiz right now. People love to do a quiz. Don't you do you see that, Natalie?
Yes. Quizzes are really fun because they help you profile, where your audience or your client is in their buyer's journey stage. They might be problem aware, they might be solution aware. And so a quiz can help identify that. And, you mentioned earlier 15 minutes, and ideally, a good lead magnet can be consumed in 15 minutes or less. So, the goal is don't overwhelm them. You want the content consumed, very quickly so that they, feel motivated to take the next step. And, lead magnets can be helpful in growing your email list and growing your business, by building authority as an expert in your niche. It helps with educating your clients on, know, like, and trust. You can provide information that educates, you can entertain, answer a question, solve a problem, just give value to take the next step.
Right, right. So what's the most important piece of this? I mean, obviously know the answer, but how can it grow your list? You want to make sure you get them on your list. So what's the most important piece of that to making sure that we're getting them on our list? The process of what that would look like.
Yeah. So the process, I mean, the nuts and bolts, the most important thing, right, is email. So any lead magnet that you have, and if you're a new event planner, business owner, just start simple and just use a resonating topic that appeals to your ideal clients. And in business, we have sort of like this. I forget who came up with that, but it's like the Dream 100 list. And it's who are the top 100 clients that you would just love to have. And then but if you're brainstorming a lead magnet, start with like the 10 clients that you would love to have, and then sort of reverse engineer that process of like, how could I get in the door and where would I start the conversation? And so the resonating topic and the messaging, and then, the call to action, and just like putting it out there. So like promoting it everywhere. You want to have it ubiquitous so that, because people aren't actively searching for your lead magnet, you have to get it to them. And so that part is critical too. So, using a lead magnet with your email list and then getting it out there. And often, people need to be told the message 10 times.
Yes. Even if you feel like, I mean, we have posted mine, oh my gosh, thousands of times all over the platforms, because these algorithms, people don't see you all the time, but don't think it's good to be visible as much as possible. Even if they've seen it 100 times, who cares? It might be that 99th time that they decide, let me check this out. Let me see what's going on here. People's minds are, we only have like 10 seconds to think about things these days. So, but call to action, super important. And what that means, if you don't know and you're just starting out, is you have to ask them to do something, right? So click here, join me here, get your free ebook here, whatever that looks like, and have a button that you have to collect their email address. You can't send the PDF or the checklist or the quiz directly to them without getting their email address. So that's really important. And that can be done through, obviously, it's not a hard way to do it. We used to just put I have funnels now, and I'm all fancy now because I've been doing this a long time, and I have a team that helps me. But when you're first starting out, you can just put it in a Google Drive and do a link to that and click it over there. And then you want a little bit of an email sequence after, welcoming them, thanking them, and then do a little thank you. And now they have this thing where you can put some confetti on it. Congratulations. And it's confetti.com, I think it's called. It's so easy and it looks really fun. So when they get it, they get confetti. It's like a whole big thing, comes right up on the screen. We like all the little gadgets here. I am an event planner. So, and so that's the call to action. You want to make sure that you are collecting their emails and not just sending all of this stuff out to them for free. Okay. So, Natalie, are there specific types of lead magnets that work exceptionally well for attracting event planning clients or wedding clients versus industry collaborations or partnerships?
Yeah. I think a calculator spreadsheet, for here's what to expect when you're planning an event. something like that. A case test of what it's like to work with you, whether that's jumping on a discovery call or like Voxer, correspondence, answering questions, a lookbook, a collection of trends, a budget template, an event planning checklist, an event planning guide, case studies, testimonials, clients that you've worked with, and showcase the events so that you can demonstrate your social authority. But let's see, video, audio trainings, those are always really good with building know, like, and trust factor.
Yes.
And a webinar.
Video is very important. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, great stuff. So how can wedding and event planners make their lead magnets stand out and capture the attention of potential new clients?
So I think, everyone is going to try to build their uniqueness within their own niche, right? So you want to highlight what makes you unique versus others. And in doing so, you're going to try to help your client, with their beliefs, their mindset. What do they need to know, understand, or believe in order to work with you? And to, guide them to that decision to work with you. And so right now they're just taking, advantage of your free lead magnet, but you want to think about where do you want them to be in the future when they're ready to buy your offer to book your services. So the best way to do that is to really have messaging and content that resonates within your niche and your category of one. And another, thing to include would be testimonials, case studies. Case studies have a nice storytelling effect, and they provide that proof that, hey, I've done this before with others and that I can get you results, the same results. Include customer spotlights, reviews. And so that's a way to help stand out from, the sea of similar.
Yes. Also, it's, showing yourself, like I get more attention to the things that I post if I'm on those posts, right? Pictures of me in videos, as much as we probably hate to do that. We all want to look, buttoned up and have our hair and makeup done, us women out there. But honestly, the ones where I'm just being natural and, myself, or a picture of me or something that I'm doing at an event are always the ones that attract people to stop more.
Right.
Or a shocking, I'm sick and tired of this in the event industry, something like that. That's going to go, oh gosh, what is she sick and tired of? Or I hate when people do this in the event. Those kinds of topics, which we're about to post some soon, seem to draw attention. So those are always fun things to do. So how can a lead magnet help current clients book repeat business?
Well, back to what I said earlier, if you're new and starting out, just start simple. But if you have existing clients and you'd like to book them again, you could start developing a new lead magnet that's more segmented to those existing customers. And the way to think about it is, solve their next problem.
Right.
What does that look like? How do you guide that next decision for them to, book with you again? Or to buy from you again. And so, it's what is their next event? And then get your new lead magnet in front of them in advance so that you can sort of, help them with a decision-making process. Do you need to provide a comparison?
Right.
And then, follow up with them. So, you set up the email sequence, the welcome sequence when you issue your first lead magnet, but keep following up with them with emails and, weekly content so that they can see and trust and, know you.
Right.
And the authenticity that you mentioned is just so important,
So
right?
important. Yes, yes.
And
Totally.
people do want to be entertained. It's not just always, education. So,
Right.
like you said, stand for something, even if it's polarizing.
Yeah.
It's to be contrarian and to say, stop doing this, it gets attention. So,
It does. It
yeah.
really does. Yeah, it does. So, there was a thought there I was going to go to. So if you're like, I don't have any idea what should my lead magnet be? I have no idea. The best thing to do is what you were mentioning is, ask your current clients now or you can even just run it in on social media. What are your what are you struggling with in your business? I know because I talk with a lot of event and wedding planners all the time. And I always know that they're trying to get clients, how to get clients, how to price their services, and what do they do when they get the client. Like those are the top things that they're always asking me about, and they don't know how to run their business. So I am creating all of these things. So I ask them, what are your pain points? I have a Facebook group, again, the Event Planner Society, join us over there. And we're always getting questions in there. So we take those questions and we create a lead magnet. And honestly, you can go to chatgpt.com or .ai. And so that's chatgpt.ai. Put in write me 10 lead magnets for wedding and event planners, whatever it is, or whatever your business is. It's literally going to it'll say titles, and it's going to spit out all of those titles for those 10 lead magnets. Now you can say, build on number 5, right? So you can get it to build out. Write me social media posts for number 5. Do a video script for number 5. What should my email sequence look like for number 5? You can literally, just as fast as I just told you, it's as fast as it's going to spit it out. So there is a huge tip right there. There's no reason why you can't come up with, topics for your lead magnets, or, whatever it is, your PDFs, your info, graphics, all of that good stuff. Even quizzes, you can do that same thing. You want to go in and, personalize it, make sure that it's your voice and all of that. But it's really amazing. And it's changed the way, we're doing business these days. We do a lot of stuff on our own, but if I get stuck and I'm not sure, I do go and ask, and it comes up with some really amazing things. Have you been
agree.
using it?
Yeah. Oh, yes. I use it every week. And
it's amazing.
It's a game changer because it streamlines and it just makes the whole process way more efficient. And in fact, like it can, introduce things that maybe you've left out or forgotten. But with my marketer's hat on, that's the area that I really love is, so get into the Facebook groups and do a search on, problems, pain points, so that you can start to digest what your ideal clients are, talking about in the comments. And that's how you find a resonating topic.
Yes.
And so, after doing that, you want to understand what are the dreams and desires, the fears and frustrations beyond, the pain points. So talk to your ideal clients, get them on a Zoom call or a phone call, put a survey in front of them, ask questions so that you can, get their real words and language. And then you want to use that language in your lead magnet. Very important, because you're speaking the voice, of the customer.
Yes. Yes, very important, very important. So, and speaking of that, so how is storytelling integrated into creating compelling lead magnets to convert clients? Because I know storytelling's everything. If I talk about, listen, I've been where you've been. I started my business. I had no clue how to get clients. I knew how to do events, but I didn't know how to run the business. I didn't know how to price myself. That's the biggest thing they ask too, is how do I price my services? That's like, those are key. So let's talk about storytelling and integrating it into creating compelling lead magnets.
Yeah. And if I could just touch on the pricing quickly.
Yes.
When you're getting into the research in the Facebook groups, of course, you want to know the competitive landscape of what others are charging, but you want to know where your audience, fits within that spectrum of pricing. and, price on the value of the transformation that you deliver. Don't just sell yourself short and price, low to with the hopes of getting a client. Price your value. And that's very important, with the transformation that you will deliver.
I just want to touch on that. I totally agree with that, because we do have issues in our industry where, new planners coming up will charge, $500 for a 3-day event that's got all the bells and whistles. And it really does damage to our industry. So us, seasoned professionals in this industry are trying to teach it in a different way. And that's why I love coaching, and I love talking about the value of what you bring, regardless of whether you think that's what you have to kind of get, the mindset is a big thing in getting your clients to realize their value. So I just wanted to mention that. But yeah, let's go on to the storytelling.
Yeah, back to storytelling. So, and this is another favorite of mine. So, with storytelling, start with, what emotion do you want them to feel when they see your content? And, what emotion do you want them to feel at the end of the event that you deliver for them, that, transformation that you give them? So start with that, and then tell a story, use audio and video. You might, want to deliver a promise in your content, entertain, educate. Video definitely helps with the know, like, and trust, because anytime you see somebody on camera and they're talking and they get to know you, it just builds that instant trust connection. So that's important. You can use storytelling to build authority as an expert in your niche. You can use it to, highlight that problem outcome, sort of gap where you're going to bridge that transformation for them. Tactics that you can use are behind the scenes in your video. Be contrarian, like we talked about earlier. Be polarizing. Say, stop doing this, or here's what I'm not doing. Sort of know what you're not, the things that you aren't, and talk about that versus the things that you are. And then, other tactics are testimonials, a before and after transformation. Anything that's wow factor, that's highly shareable content. Those are all really good tactics to use. And if there's somebody who's doing it really well, that I would implore your listeners to check out is Nicole Burke with Gardenary. She has amazing videos, and they're just short, but they demonstrate, a lot of those subject areas that I just talked about. So check out Gardenary.
She's amazing. I just actually took, she did a webinar about, what she does, and she's amazing. She does have an easy thing to video, obviously, because she's got gardening, so she can always show what she's doing in the garden and all of that. But you can come up with some creative ideas, especially with events. You can walk into a hotel, and there's lots of things that you can do to get creative to, talk about that. But videos, social media wants us to be on video. So, you get better algorithms with your videos and things like that. We're ramping up all our videos too. And, I'm kind of kicking and screaming with them. I love my show. I love doing the podcast, but honestly, the video thing is, I don't know. And once I do it, I'm all excited about it, but I get the same way, and I get lots of compliments. I love your videos. And I'm thinking, if they only knew what I went through before I started the video, it's
right.
But everybody does, unless you're in front of the camera all the time. But
can I add one more thing about that? So, with telling a story, always be intentional with your content. So always have a call to action, whatever it is that you want, the call to action to be at the end of that video or that audio or whatever, how you're telling the story. And, remember the call to action could be, directing them to your lead magnet, but just always be intentional. Don't just put content out there without thinking of the next step.
Such a great advice on that. Absolutely. So what's the best way to troubleshoot a lead magnet if it's not working?
Well, a lot of times it just can start with the messaging. Make sure that you have that, locked down so that it resonates, and, test it, back into the Facebook groups, and, put your lead magnet out there and test the messaging with your ideal audience. You want to make sure that the messaging contains that stuff that we talked about earlier, which is, the meeting them where they're at now versus where they are in the future, ready to buy. How do you bridge that gap? How do you bridge the transformation for them? You get them on the phone, or a Zoom chat, talk to them, make sure that that's a good way to align your messaging with what they're actually, feeling and thinking where they're at, because you don't want to be too many steps ahead of them and, have that be your lead magnet. That's not going to resonate. So make sure that you know where they're at. And then take any feedback that you get and put it, retool your lead magnet, refine it, and integrate, the feedback into the whole process. And so what I mean there is, if it's, depending on the type of lead magnet that you have, if your client are like busy moms, they might prefer to listen to audio, in a podcast format versus, reading a really long ebook. So you need to think about the type of lead magnet that you have, and then matching it to, what your audience needs. And then after you've retooled it and refined it, rinse and repeat, promote it again, put it out there everywhere, see what kind of traction you're getting, and test it. Just keep testing, because oftentimes marketing is experimentation, and, the data will tell a story.
Yeah. I want you to talk about the data a little bit, like that's how the importance of that is. But another thing you can do is just use the same lead magnet, change the picture on it, right? The cover picture. It may resonate differently. Each picture may resonate differently with people. So that could just be a very simple way to change it up, to get some attention to it, is change a picture. We did that once and boom, it went crazy. So, but let's talk about the data just a little bit because it can get a little tricky with that, but what the importance of that, because you really want to watch what's going on, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, ways to monitor your lead magnet traction are, your email service provider, right? So how many clicks are you getting, on your lead magnet link? Look into the metrics there. Also, just your socials. If you're using, YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, you want to look at, well, how many people are clicking on your lead magnet, and if they're not, then you might want to, take that process, take a step back and look at why aren't they clicking, and then if they are clicking and you've got the lead magnet in front of them, but they're not booking with you need to understand why not. And so I think really some of the best qualitative data is just to talk to them. And so if you've had a client before that, like we talked about, getting repeat business, try to get a quick chat with them and find out, what their objection is, what their obstacle is, and use that, to inform your next step.
Yes. Great advice. So how can wedding event planners leverage social media to promote their lead magnets and monetize their reach?
Well, this part's obviously really important. You want to tell them the message, 10 times before they hear it. So, in our world where it's like bit data coming in, everything is just, a quick blink. So you really need to tell them repeatedly and get your lead magnet in all of the places, your website, ideally multiple places on your website. So your homepage, your about page, maybe a pop-up. Then you want to have it in all of your bios and social media channels. If you're doing weekly content, you want to promote it in your weekly content. And, in your reels, your video, if you're going on live video each week. Another really good place to have it is in, DMs that you have on your channels. And one tool that's really helpful with using a lead magnet is ManyChat. So you can sort of automate the process with qualifying your leads. And, if you put a lead magnet out there on Instagram in a reel, you could say, leave me a word in the comments. And then for those people that see that reel with your, call to action for the lead magnet, if they leave that word in the comments, ManyChat can actually send them a DM and, deliver the lead magnet to them. And then that's a good way to start like pre-qualifying them for, are they the right audience fit for you? And would they, be an engaged customer?
Yes. We use ManyChat, and what that is so if you're posting something out, you just tell them to put events down in the comments, right? Just write the word events in the comments and we'll send you the lead magnet. And so they get it in their DMs. And so it's a great way to get them and then get them in the DMs, because that's kind of where that's kind of like an email in itself as well. And you want to get in there and start chatting with them, but it'll automatically send. It sets up. It's really amazing. Super easy to set up. We use ManyChat as well and find it to be fun. And you can use that we use it on Instagram and Facebook. We haven't used it over on LinkedIn. I don't think, Christy could tell you, but my team handles all of that stuff, but ManyChat's really great. Yeah. Okay, good. So how do you balance providing valuable content in your lead magnets with getting your audience to hire you for an event or your services, or what that might look like?
All right, we'll stick to the 15-minute golden rule. So, content that can be consumed in 15 minutes or less, ideally less, because we want it to be brief, and give them the what, but sell them the how. So in the what, you want to maybe deliver like the pillars of information, the stuff that they need to know, the stuff they need to understand, the stuff they need to believe. And then you're going to sell them the how. So, that's, how do I deliver this event for you? Book my service. So that's the distinction there. Address their objections in your content. So, don't overwhelm with too much information. Stick to like a very simple framework with giving them the what, address objections, guide the decision, and, direct them to the next step with your call to action. That's the, best balance that I could recommend.
Yeah.
Don't overwhelm.
That's great advice. Great advice. So are there specific platforms you've found most effective for promoting lead magnets?
Well, so, again, the best way for you to build your business is to use your lead magnet with your email list. And so always have it gated where you get their name and email address when you put your lead magnet out there. It's okay to have it on social platforms, but really you want to always be redirecting everybody to your email list, because that's the only thing that you own in this.
Yes.
And so, other places where you could have it beyond your email list are, in your social bios. Instagram is great. Facebook, Pinterest is really great for search, because people have a problem and they're aware of it. So they're searching for the answer to their problem. So if you start, if you're not pinning yet, but if you get your lead magnet on a pin on Pinterest and then direct them to your, email service provider or website, wherever you house it, and then, collect their email, that's a really great place. And again, YouTube as well, another search engine. So you can link to it from there. And then, direct DMs, direct messaging, because that's a place too where the conversation occurs. That's where you can serve your potential clients and, just start that dialogue where they start to know, like, and trust.
Yes, yes. And with Pinterest, lots of wedding and event planners hang out there, or people who are looking to have a wedding or they're going to do an event and they want to get inspiration and they feel overwhelmed. So it's a good place to hang out for our industry. Just a little tip on that. Pinterest likes content that is 3 months. It takes 3 months to get your content to really cycle through Pinterest. So right now we're starting to do stuff for Valentine's Day, right? So we did Christmas several months ago, the holidays, all of that stuff. But you need to kind of think ahead, which is good to do like a 90-day plan for yourself and think ahead to plan out for Pinterest. I have people that manage that for me because Pinterest is a little trickier. I could do all the other social media platforms, but it is a little trickier to manage Pinterest. Get somebody. I don't spend a lot of money on that. But I do have somebody that manages it for us. She just takes the content that we already use, which is really good to do. Repurpose the content you're already using. You don't have to create all new stuff for all different platforms, and just, send it over to them. And then, you can do it. You can put it over there yourself as well. So it's not hard.
Yes. Can I add something to that? So Pinterest is definitely a long game. And the reason, so don't expect immediate results when you start, using Pinterest. But the beauty is that you can get, ROI on your pins, years in advance or years down the road.
Yes.
So that's why Pinterest is so great. And so, yes, it's important to get ahead and get your content there in advance of these, seasonal, flash events or whatever. But, and then also Pinterest is great for actually keyword search. So there's ways you can go into Pinterest and, do some keyword research for what's trending with your audience, what might be some useful keywords to put into your lead magnet and your content online so that can help you to start, getting in search results.
Yes, very good point. And it really kind of falls across all platforms in your social media as far as the long term. You need to be consistent. Nothing's going to happen overnight, and you need to be patient with it. It's taken me years to grow my business. It's taken me years to grow my list and years to grow my following. I'm still working super hard. There's lots of people out there who have much bigger followings than I do, but it is what it is. You are where you are. So, but just know that if you only one person was on your video and they saw you, when you replay that video, you could get thousands and thousands of people to see your videos over and over and over again. So don't feel bad if only a couple people showed up to your video and nobody saw it. Just repurpose it, post it out there, and keep showing it out there. It will grow, and sometimes it takes off and it goes viral. So you never know. The funniest stuff goes viral these days.
I agree. And have fun, have fun when you're doing it, because that shows true authenticity.
Yes.
And people want to see that. They want to hear from you in that way.
Yes. So many questions. I love all this with you. This is so fantastic. I could talk about all this all day, but I know, but we have businesses to run. So, but I do want to do a little lightning round here with you, if you don't mind. So who is someone who has inspired you, who is inspiring you at the moment, and why?
Inspiring with a lead magnet?
Well, that, or just in your business.
Okay. Well, one of my favorite business mentors is Amy Porterfield.
Yes.
She's a class act. She's very intentional with, how she educates her audience and brings them along. And I mean, talk about somebody who is showing up consistently.
I know, she's amazing.
And putting in the reps and doing the work. And, she taught me to get uncomfortable and building an online business. And now I embrace that, but I didn't before. And so that's definitely helps me to navigate the waters. And then, her weekly content is just amazing. So
I know she's my mentor as well. And she's amazing. And I couldn't be doing this without her, because I aspire to be with her, like her. So it's amazing. I love what she's doing. I couldn't agree more. So what's the best advice you've ever received?
That's a tough one because I did come from the startup world. So, a different entrepreneurial game. But I think the best advice I've ever received is, I think in this digital world, it's just to be true to ourselves and to be authentic and not try to be anything we're not. And so if I were to relay some startup advice that applies to that is, you want to take something, like a really good product or service will sort of take something that already exists and add to it, add some value to it, redefine it, build, just redesign it, but offer it in a new way. And so I think with authenticity, and what we're doing to build online businesses and content and, being consistent, it's like, be yourself, but, it's okay to look at the lay of the land and take, see what's out there that you will like, that you have an affinity for, but then just add your own perspective to it, add your own, belief system, your values, and then, re-engineer it and put it out there share it with the world.
Yeah. As Amy says, it's okay to be scrappy, right? To start off. That's how she started off, and you don't have to be perfect. So I agree with you. That's great.
Well, that's another area she helped me because, a perfectionist mindset, getting scrappy is like the antithesis of that. So that's something else I've had to learn, so that when my mind goes towards perfectionism, I'm like, okay, no, scrappy, fast, speed.
Yep.
Sells.
Yep. She shows a lot of videos of when she started out, and she would say, like, she just recently, when she launches her programs, and she showed this video recently in the last one, and it was her starting out in her videos, because now her videos are like so good. She's so natural. She's so fun. And she, she'll mess up in a video and go, wait, I didn't want to do that. Hold on one second. But when she first started, she would do her videos and her voice would be really high. She would be like, I'm Amy Porterfield and da, 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 da. And she's like, why did I do that? Like, it was so funny. So, we all have to start somewhere. Just be yourself, and, it is what it is. Yeah. It's a tough world out there, being in front of the camera and, doing this social media thing. Everybody's watching, and, Can
I add one more tip of just like really good advice?
Yes.
Because I think especially as women, a lot of times, our mothers, our grandmothers, they weren't taught like the value of themselves and like what to price themselves at or how to ask for a promotion. And so the other tip there is, price your value, price the quality of the transformation you deliver, and don't price yourself short. That's the other really important.
Completely agree. Absolutely. So what are you most looking forward to next year?
Next year, I'm looking forward to new launches. I'll have a new course coming out for digital CEOs with lean marketing for digital CEOs. I'm going to be beta testing a mini membership. And I'm going to be, delivering weekly content. All of these areas are new and exciting for me. But I'm also, mostly excited about just being in the community of, entrepreneurs with online businesses, and, how we help each other, share our impact with the world. So to be building that community and, immersing myself fully in it. That's what I'm excited about in 2024. What about you? What are you excited about?
Yeah, lots of stuff going on. I'm excited about building my course for wedding and event planners. So that's something really exciting. It's a process, as you know. I recently, and again, I've been running my business. I've been in the event industry for over 30 years, and I've been running my business for 14 years now. And I love to teach, but, getting them into the course, like you said, it's so different. And so when I did my first launch, I messed it up. I gave way too much away. I said too much about the how, but, I'm learning. So that's the same thing. You got to stumble along the way before you get to a point where I'm going to for me, I just love to teach so much about this industry and helping people start their businesses. Because when I started, it was such a struggle. I was in tears trying to figure out how to do this. Nobody would help me. And I knew that once I got my business and going and I was successful and, things were moving along, that I was going to one day coach. I do coach one-on-one. So I've been doing that for about 8 years, but I want to take it to a bigger platform so I can help more people. And because one-on-one takes too much, it's a lot of time. And plus I have a busy business. So, which I'm thankful for, but yeah, just, working with clients that I love next year and building and growing. I'm going to launch my course 4 times next year. So each quarter. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. And I'm changing it up. I'm going to do a boot camp first. And so I'm kind of changing it up and just play. It's okay that, it's not I'm not selling millions of dollars in the course yet. It's really not about that. My vision is not about how much money I'm going to make. It's how many people I'm going to help. It's that vision of getting them into the groups. Everybody's collaborating together and asking all kinds of questions because I love all of that. So for me, I just want to get them in. So yes, I don't want to give it away for free because I have a lot of value to hand out there. So again, my value. So I want to, make sure that I'm, giving out the value that I'm worth. So, but that's what I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Another year. Okay. So a couple more things. What's your favorite tool that you use in your business?
Goodness. Well, Canva is obviously the gold standard. And another hero is the founder of Canva, Melanie. I forget her last name, but yeah, she's just brilliant. And, she stayed true to her vision and executed on it. And, who does she want to serve? I mean, that's just like, the golden mindset. Yep. But so Canva is definitely one. And then Hello Audio is a new tool for podcasting, and it's really easy to get started. Okay. So if you're thinking about, I like it because you can use it for a public podcast, but you can also use it for a private podcast, like a lead magnet. And so it's, you could just upload a Zoom recording and then it removes the video and keeps the audio and then delivers it, as a podcast tool.
So it's like an editor. It's like an editor and like edit for you. Oh, that's good.
And then another one, another favorite that I've started using is Focus Clip. It's an AI, video editor. So it takes long form video and then sort of like chops it up into mini short videos with titles and captions that you can just sort of talk about repurposing content and streamlining for efficiency. That's a great one. There's a lot of others that do that, like an AI video tool.
Yes.
Not all of them will take long form and slice it up, but what is it? Capwing is one. Capsule is another.
There's so many now. There's so many.
Yeah.
But yeah. For me, Canva is amazing. But the Chat GPT, and just for you that know, you don't need to spend a lot of money. You can use Canva that has a free version, or you can upgrade. And I think it's like, I don't know, $10 a month or something very inexpensive. It's not expensive. And then for the Chat GPT, there's a 3.5 version and a 4 version. I have the 4.0 and I think I spend $19.99 a month, but so now you can create images. So like if I put in like, here's my lead magnet, and then it says, I say, now create an image of, whatever the first sentence might be or whatever it is. And it is unbelievable. It's the cutest thing. I'm going to post a couple things about some images. I did a lead magnet on, I was just playing around with it and it was on, I think it was something like fairy tale weddings or very, out of the box weddings or something like that. And it came up with like 10 different ideas. And then I asked it to create an image of those 10 ideas. It was so amazing. So you hear now, because, in my industry, it's a visual thing, right? And they now have a vision of what this wedding on the moon might look like, or, a rainforest wedding or something like. It's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. So I highly recommend that you guys get in those. So those are mine.
Yeah. And lean into AI now versus,
Yes.
don't wait, because I just trained my VA on using ChatGPT and on a weekly basis for content flywheel process. So lean into that. I don't think I'm using 4 yet with images, but so I definitely am curious and want to learn about that.
Yeah, it's really easy. It's not hard at all. And it's just learning how to prompt it, and then it will recognize, if you use it enough, it's going to recognize what you like in your voice and all of that. But and people are like, oh, it's going to replace, it's too scary, I'm afraid of it. It's not like that, right? There's only so many things you can do, but to create your content and get some ideas out there, it is fantastic. It's changing, the speed of doing our businesses and my sanity, to be honest, because there's so much content we have to create, right? Especially as your business grows, and you and I are in this digital world. So it is a whole nother ball game there. So great tools there.
And if I may add, AI plus, short form video is a powerful combo to use in your selling and marketing. So, maybe we can talk again sometime on short form video, and
I would love to.
How to sell, structure the selling.
I would love to. Christy, let's get it on the books. Christy's following here along. Okay. So last question. What's one piece of advice you'd give to wedding and event planners just starting out? People in their businesses, right?
Yeah, just start simple. I think when I first started my online business, just coming from like the startup world of all the things and all the hats, I did too much, last year, and I wasn't ready for some of the things, the tools, and so, for budding entrepreneurs, start simple. Just only get the things that you need now. Set up a very basic, framework that you can use, and then so an email service provider like ConvertKit, content delivery vehicles, Canva, and tell your story. Start to learn selling. So where you can learn from other business mentors, hugely important. But just find one mentor that you like. You don't need to get all the things. And
I know it can be overwhelming.
Yes, shiny object syndrome. You don't need to have more than one. And then, so start small. Start thinking about your funnel, your customer. Just cast the vision of your funnel, your weekly content process, your customer journey, what that looks like, the journey that you're going to take them on, and then add to it later. And I will say, where you can, if you have money coming in the door with your business already as a side hustle, try to hire a VA, an assistant to help outsource some of the tasks, as early as you can, and don't wait for that. So that would be my advice to someone starting out.
Yes. And I got 2 pieces of advice on that. One is, don't pay attention to what everybody else is doing. It's good to get inspiration and watch what people I've told a lot of wedding event planners, look at my platform, look at what look at my website and get inspiration from there. Or, watch what I'm doing in social media. And so, pick a couple things that I'm doing and do those. And eventually it will build. Don't try to do all the fancy bells and whistles that everybody else is doing. If you see someone has 1 million followers, who cares? It doesn't matter. You have to start somewhere. I don't have 1 million followers, and I've been doing this forever, and I still have a successful business. So, there's plenty of work out there for everybody. And don't get all wrapped up in you having to have all these millions of people that are following you. The other thing is, get a coach. I almost forgot what it was. Get a coach. If that was the best thing I did, and I still have a coach to this day. I have Amy who mentors me through my digital course, and all the wonderful people that are in there like yourself. And just coaching is every penny that I've spent on having a coach, whether it's me or anybody else. Find someone that you want to aspire to be, that is doing what you're looking to do, that has the knowledge. And just, you don't need to spend a lot of money, but it is very important to invest in your business. it to be successful. Every time I have it, my business grows and grows every single time. And each time I've invested, I've always been like, holy crap, I can't believe I'm spending this money, but it's always worked out and I've made more money from it. So
yeah. Can I add to that? So, the way to hire a coach is to look at and this is startup, business acumen. Find the person who's built the business that you want to build, and then, seek them out as a mentor, whether it's just like binging their content, whatever. If you can't afford, direct one-on-one coaching, start binging their content, find, where they have advice, knowledge on, online. And then, but find the person who's built the thing that you want to build. And I would start there. And then just sort of like, you can work your way down. And, to your other point, stay true to your uniqueness. I think one of the best strategies in building an online business is to build your niche of one, your, personal monopoly category of one. So stay true to your uniqueness. Take, all of your knowledge, skills, experience, transformations that you've helped others with, and, put that into a vault that you share with others. And that will help you to avoid, following and chasing what others are doing, and just, bring people into your orbit, because all you need is a very small email list of engaged subscribers who know you, they like what you stand for, and they want to buy from you. That's all you need. So keep it simple and keep, a small engaged list is the goal.
Love it. Thank you so much, Natalie. How can everybody find you?
Thank you.
How can people find you?
Sure. So nataliegray.me is my website. I'm on Instagram, Natalie Gray. Miss Traction. Gray, by the way. Natalie, Gray, Miss Traction, on Instagram and X, used to be Twitter, and Facebook. And I have a free audio workshop that you can get on my website. I also have, I think we have a link to it today. So get on my email list, get my newsletter for digital CEOs, and I can send you the audio workshop.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So fun. Love talking to you. Such great advice.
We'll talk again.
Yes, for sure. So thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining us, and we'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye everyone.